Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls, and we have some breaking news. And joining us on the news desk for that breaking news, and I'll let him, in his own words, talk about it. Certainly, Councilman John Navy has been a favorite here in Terrebonne Parish for many, many years. He's District 1 Councilman here in Terrebonne Parish. John, welcome to the program. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And also another very popular person here in the parish, Orlando Williams, former Terrebonne Parish councilwoman, was council chair for many years. I think the first woman council chair. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Trying to remember. Sometimes I remember these things, you know. And vice chancellor for workforce development and institutional advancement at Delgado Community College. Welcome, Orlando. Good to see you.
Same here. Welcome.
And, you know, it was when y'all called me and told me that y'all would like to come on for some breaking news and told me what it was about, I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised because I'm going to let you have the floor, John. But John's in high demand for a lot of things. And let me give you the floor and let you explain to the people what's going on. And it is some big breaking news. So.
Correct. Actually, it's a very it's a bittersweet moment for me. I'm a little emotional right now about it, but I will be resigning my position as councilman for the next 12 to 13 months. I have accepted a position as a philanthropic organization, nonprofit organization, a humanitarian organization that does a lot of work in the United States of America, actually, and it's doing a lot of work that I do right now. So I took this opportunity to say the work that I actually do and would be elected official for the next 12 months. Now I have the opportunity to take that to the next 10 to 15 years of my career. And I took that position, and I will be taking that position in a couple of weeks in Terrebonne Parish. I've actually sent the information to the parish government and the Secretary of State office. I explained to you a little later that procedure, that process that needs to take place. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to make myself transparent to the public, to explain to them. I actually I prayed on this verse to get confirmation. Contact my sister, of course, Yolanda. Spoke with my wife about the situation, my family, my children. They was very supportive. I even contacted our good friend, Mr. Waits, who's actually kind of fostered me and mentored me in being an elected official, a public official. And I spoke to other several people in reference to this. My mom was very supportive, 80 years old, and telling me, you have to do what's best for yourself and your family. So, and one thing she told me, the things that I've done in this parish has been recognized as good works. And that's how I will be, at the end of the day, judged on my good work. I can't please everyone, but I just want the public to know what my next mission is. Mm-hmm. I will be working with government and nonprofit organizations in this area also. But it's going to take me to another level to be able to provide the same resources, that same passionate service that I've done for the last 11 years, well, actually 20 years, because I've served numerous boards and commissions with the parish government and as elected official 11 years. So the next 12 to 13 months, I will be resigning, and the parish will have the process that they have in place to do that. So we wanted to come on here tonight just to talk about those things. And just like I said, want to inform the public, being transparent. Also, I wanted to come at our local media outlet, that's just yourself. I know you're big in the Bayou region, but you have been a strong, strong backbone and support, not just to me, but this whole parish. So I wanted to come on and share this with you too, not just as a media outlet, but as a friend, what you've been to me for all these years.
Well, thank you, John, and I appreciate that. But you've sort of paved your own way. And Orlando, I see you have her up here for support. And one thing about John Navy that I know pretty well, you mentioned the word transparent. You've never hid from the truth. And I think that's why you're here, getting ahead of the story. You don't want people guessing why you did this, right? That's
correct. That's correct. And the reason why I say that, Martin, is the fact that the work we're planning to do is the same work that I'm doing now, that have been for the last 11 years. That's what made it so exciting. I don't want to say, once I'm elected official in 12 months, what do I do next? Now I get to extend it. It's just I won't have that label as elected official, but I will still be doing the good works of this organization in Terrebonne Parish. So
let me ask you, is it a true conflict to be in that job and do this, or you just felt like you couldn't divide your time?
It's that too, and politically. I don't want that to be that organization. I don't want, because it's like I said, it's an organization that is pretty much prominent in this country and in the world. And I don't want that to be a political spectrum. I don't want that to be to a point where he's just going to do for this area or this district. Now I get the opportunity as again to serve the whole parish of Terrebonne, not as just one general district.
Right. So
Everyone.
what we'll do, we'll take a break. I'm going to come back and get Alonda involved because I know you lean on Alonda for advice
Oh, yes.
quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a tell it like it is person too. So I want to make sure we give y'all enough time to make sure that this story is saturated by everyone watching, because it changes the dynamic of the local council. It changes the dynamic of who might want to get in the race or who might want to be a council person.
Correct.
So what we'll do, we'll take a short break. When we come back, more in the breaking news that John just told us about right here on HTV.
Terrebonne General Health System, where medical science meets the art of caring, is committed to providing the latest advances in medical technology with a gentle, caring touch. This is evident in our high-tech, high-touch approach to healthcare. As a trusted healthcare resource, we deliver both life-saving, compassionate inpatient services and life-changing preventive care, while also providing wellness needs and outreach throughout the Bayou region. To learn about how Terrebonne General is providing innovative healthcare solutions, visit tghealthsystem.com.
Domestic violence is daunting, and the psychological effects can do enduring damage. Obviously, all abuse needs to end. But how? The Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office is dedicated to ending domestic violence and helping those who have already experienced it. Our office supports many programs that educate and adjudicate abuse towards women. If you are a victim of abuse, call the Terrebonne Parish District Attorney's Office at 873-6500.
Structural heart disease refers to a defect in the heart's valves, walls, or chambers that keeps the heart from pumping blood properly. Valve or structural heart problems may be present at birth or develop over time. Your risk increases if you have high blood pressure, plaque buildup, history of heart attack, take certain medications, or have certain heart infections. The Structural Heart Program at CIS and Terrebonne General provides innovative solutions and devices with the latest technology to bring the best possible outcomes for patients. Learn more at cardio.com.
All right, we are back with some breaking news. I have Councilman John Navy, District 1, joining us, Ms. Alonda Williams, as we told you, former parish councilwoman and chair of the council here in Terrebonne Parish, and now the Vice Chancellor for Workforce Development and Institutional Advancement at Delgado. Orlando, you couldn't pick a shorter title?
You know me, I always go big.
All right. So getting serious again. So John, effective what, November 14th?
Yeah, effective November the 14th, I would no longer be a councilman Terrebonne Parish.
Okay. And certainly, I know this is bittersweet because I know how passionate you were about different things. So I'm going to turn to Orlando because you worked hand in hand with John for many years. How long have you known him?
Oh, at least 20 years, at least 20 years. But the thing is, to know John, you're going to love John. And I know that this was not a very easy decision that he's made. And if you've heard me before we even came out here, are you ready for this? Because he's giving. And, you know, but he just said he would no longer be a council person. Let me just tell you something. It never ends. It never ends. Still to this day, people will call on you, especially because of the time that John invested in this parish. Not just the 8 years that he served on 11 years he served on the parish council, but he served 8 years on the planning commission, as well as the civil service board, as well as other organizations that he was a part of in this parish. And so I've seen his reach, even when we were working on our PhD. John made certain that our dean received an award and was successful in helping all of us raise money to carry the torch on. So I know that to have to say I'm going to step back from this is not an easy, but John did his job. And so now he's about to do his work. And that's a difference.
And if I could say one of my editorialize a little bit, John has a big heart. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if everybody sees that when he's up there. I think most people have figured that out. He has a big heart. I mean, he gets along well with a lot of people. And I'm sure in politics over the years, you're going to have rifts. But I've never seen John have rifts that were not repairable. Is that a correct statement?
Yeah, it's a correct statement. John calms me down. Believe that or not, because I'm ready to throw a shoe in a second, and he's like, "Oh, you know." Right. But he has always been a person that can talk through a difference and then try to come up with a solution. And I'm saying it about myself, but we both have been. John is a more mild-mannered person at it to get the job done. And so you're right. His riffs are repairable, and his riffs are not personal. And that's what people need to understand when you're in politics. Nothing is personal. You're there to do the work of the people. Not everybody's gonna like you, but everybody should have some sense of respect for you. And I know that he is highly respected, not just in politics, but the students that he's dealt with, because he just recently retired, the students that he's dealt with in Terrebonne Parish school system, the students that he deals with in his private business, and the people that he touches. And so today is a new day, but it's a good day. And he's going to talk later about his new position. But when it is announced, people in this parish are going to really, really be excited, because we will truly have a voice, and a voice on a national level. And that is what I'm excited about. So I'm not going to say anymore, because it's his thing to tell.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask, my next question was going to be, come on, John, what are you doing?
Well,
so we're going to have to wait a little bit?
Yes, I think it's on the respect of that organization that I would like to wait, because, like I said, I'm still elected official until the 14th of November, and I don't want it to seem like I'm showcasing that and they get that wrong impression. But I think the people will be the people that believe in me going to be satisfied. Like I said, I can't please everyone.
So you got some space in between, because you got to do a little cleaning up before you leave too, to make sure your district is in order.
Good point. And listen, just recently, and it's going to be some other breaking news. They're going to hear about this. We just got approved where Bayou Habitat for Humanity has actually signed over, I think, 7 to 8 lots in Village East area. So we're about to build a community center in Village East. That's going to be the last of my work that I think the Lord has blessed me to do. And I'm very emotional about that, because, I built one in Mechanicsville, and I get the opportunity to do another community center for those people, so they can see that when I leave here, I'm still leaving that work behind that I started and said that my vision was going to be completed, and I've done that. And it's just, I'm not going to sit here and just toot my horn about all the things I've done, but I got to say this: I did the work that I was blessed to do, and that's what means a lot to me, because if I got to sit here and tell you, Martin, that I did this and this what I did, Martin, this what I did, then I ain't doing it for the people. I'm doing it for John Navy, to say what John Navy did. I was blessed to do that. I was blessed to have you come to these events and put it on TV so people could see what we were doing in Terrebonne Parish. I was blessed with her. I was blessed with everybody in my life. So I feel good at where I'm at right now. I really do.
Yeah, and it just, the whole time I'm talking to you and hearing it, I know you well enough to know that you probably tossed and turned last night, knowing you would have to come and do a press conference to resign. But if people are patient, we're going to hear some pretty big news coming down the pipe.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely will.
I could tell when you cocked that head back and you gave me that Denzel Washington look, that it's going to be big. All right, I'm going to hold on like the rest of the public and wait to see.
Yes, it's going to be big.
What we're going to do, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. I'm curious to know, how do we get a new council person in District 1? I'm going to ask them when we come back, so don't go away.
Don't give up. At Waits & Downer Law Firm, we want to make sure that you have all the facts when dealing with your insurance company. We have the legal experience and ability to make them pay. Get the help you need. At Waits & Downer, it's our goal to not only get you a full damage recovery, but to get the insurance company to reimburse your legal fees. Call today for a free consultation. We are local and we are here to stay. Let our years of experience work for you.
At Barker Honda, we have the aggressive all-new Honda Ridgeline. Ridgeline has class-leading cab space, easy folding seats for storage, standard all-wheel drive, versatile tailgate, automatic in-bed lighting, plywood lies flat in the truck bed, large rear storage for work, ice chest with drain, or whatever. And remember, it's better at Barker.
All right, welcome back. Of course, we have Councilman John Navy, District 1, Ms. Alonda Williams, former council chair, councilwoman here in Terrebonne Parish. Now she's the Vice Chancellor for Workforce Development and Institutional Advancement at Delgado. And I should know this. I've been doing this long enough, but sometimes you forget things. So what's going to happen? And Orlando, I think you had a similar situation where you had to have a special election or somebody was appointed. Explain to me, what's going to happen at this point?
So at this point, the council is going to have to appoint someone until a special election is called. In my situation, when former Councilman Wayne Thibodeau stepped down, I was appointed in March and then had to run for a special election in October for an unexpired term. And then the following October, I had to run for my first full term. So I actually ran 3 times, where this individual will be appointed by the council. So if someone is interested, they should be submitting their resumes to the parish council, and then the council votes on it. They serve until an election is called by the Secretary of State's office. And I think if you're doing it now, you may be looking at a March, maybe February election. And then they would have to run again in October for their regular term. So that person, whomever is going to be, is really going to campaign 3 times, because you're going to have to go after the vote to get at least 5 people to believe in you on the parish council. And then you'll be running again. So you'll be running your whole term once you get up there, if you're interested in running. So my first year and a half was all elections, basically. And I say all election because you're taking care of the need of the people. But if you're interested in running for that seat, you're also going to be campaigning for that seat. So it's going to be an interesting turn.
You'll know what my next question is going to be.
Good.
Because your vacancy is going to leave, basically, in my opinion, I could be wrong, a 4-4 consul, unless I'm totally off from seeing what I've been seeing. This is going to be interesting.
Well, let me explain that too, that process. Right now, the council has up until September, well, administration has up to November the 21st to actually call for a special election. Okay, November 21st. From my resignation on the 14th, 13th, 14th, whatever, to 30 days, that'd be December the 14th. That time frame, the council have to appoint someone within that 30-day period. From December the 14th from November the 14th to December the 14th. If they don't, then that becomes another situation where if they don't do it within 30 days, then the governor comes into that process.
Wow. This is it does get interesting when you look at it politically. Orlando, I think when I was saying it, I was watching your eyes. I'm pretty spot on, I think, with this is going to be a power dynamic that we're going to have to watch. And it is what it is.
I want to be your special reporter to report on that because it is going to be interesting. When it happened with me, it was a 5-2, right? Oh yeah, 5-2 or 6-2. It was a 6-2 because at that time, Alvin Tillman or Peter Rose, they didn't support me. They wanted the fact that for Mr. Thibodeau to be able to appoint his successor. And so that council was a 6-3 split back then. And so, but you saw I was able to work with the 2 ladies, and they ended up, that was 5-4, but they ended up supporting me. And so, but now, and you're right, Martin, I watch it too. I still talk to every last one of those guys up there, but I don't see where I see a 4-4 split right now, with John stepping off. It's going to be an interesting turn of events over the next few weeks, because this is what that council needs to look at too. Whomever is going to go after this seat is going to run. Right? But you need to make certain that person understands government and is not going to get in it just to start campaigning. because then you have to start looking at all of that. So I hope that the council actually looks at, John has put out a good pathway. So let's just look at what he's done and who can work to continue the good for District 1. Not those other districts don't have to go to bed. They don't have to worry about what's going on in District
If politics, honestly, is kept out of it and we get somebody who's a unifier, it might be the person who can unify. Because it's been a tough political road with this council, I got to be honest. And not that any of them are bad people. They're just stuck in their own realm. So maybe this new person can bridge the gap, you know?
Yes.
I would hope so. And John,
I know it's your hope, John.
Yeah.
Well, and you're right, Martin, because that next person that takes that seat has to be very compassionate about what they're doing and be able to work with those 8 members. And you have a female on that. You have to have some gender equality on that council too. So having that potentially 4-4, that's not going to be a healthy situation. I hope whoever gets up there, that they look at those resumes and what that person have done for this community, look at their backgrounds and all that kind of stuff, from legal aspects of it, the whole ball of wax. Because if you don't vet that person the way you need to come up there, you're misleading these people. You know, I like I said, and Yolanda's right, you know, I paved the way that I was blessed to do. I'm not going to be up there telling that next person what to do. All I'm asking them to do was right for the people. And I'm hoping that council work with that person. And I'm hoping that, you know, they get the right person up there, not somebody that they just could feel like they can manipulate or control, because that's not healthy for government and that's not healthy for Terrebonne Parish.
Move forward together. I think
that's
that would
correct.
be the thing.
That's correct.
And
That's correct.
John, let me shake your hand.
No, appreciate it, man.
Because I appreciate everything you've done. 11 years of great service to this community. And I'm looking forward to hearing what the new job's going to be.
We definitely will be hearing that one.
All right. And Orlando, thank you for what you do. And I appreciate you coming. And I know he wanted you to be here for support. So obviously, he thinks a lot of you and he wanted you by his side. So
Yeah, John is like a big brother to me, but I always act like I'm the oldest. So,
Yeah, you're right about that one.
I wanted to be here with them more. And I know we only have a few seconds, but I have to say this. Don't let his legacy just go to waste, because it's hard sitting up there, and it's even harder being young sitting up there. And so today, as African Americans, we have to be strong leaders. And I will say this, with things that's on the ballot and everything that's coming up, we as African Americans do not have time to allow apathy, right, to be a privilege to us. And
but I got to say this, going to the break, y'all always representing everyone.
That's right.
And
That's
thank
correct.
you for that. Y'all been strong.
That's right.
Correct. Well,
Thank y'all for being here.
Same here, man.
All right,
Appreciate
there you have it. Breaking news here from HTV. We'll see you around the bend.